Hey B&B fans! Welcome back to the channel, where we dissect every twist, every betrayal, and every shocking move on The Bold and the Beautiful. Today, we're diving into something that could shake the Logan Spencer world to its core. Yes, I'm talking about Bill Spencer and Katie Logan Spencer, and whether their marriage might be on the brink as Katie's new fashion house faces trouble. Honestly, the whole situation is already tense. Think about it. Not long ago, Bill proposed a fresh start for Katie, gifting her this exciting new fashion venture. It was supposed to symbolize a new chapter for her life, a chance to shine in a way that's entirely her own. And Katie, being the passionate and ambitious woman we know her to be, jumped in headfirst. She embraced Bill's vision wholeheartedly, convinced that this was the beginning of something spectacular. But here's where things start to unravel. The spoilers suggest that Katie's fashion house, which was meant to be this amazing milestone, might be on the verge of a major setback, even before it really gets off the ground. And let's be honest, if this venture fails, it's not just a career blow, it has the potential to shake her marriage to Bill. Eric Forrester had been a major part of Katie's plans for this collection. He promised guidance, support, and expertise, basically everything she needed to launch her first show with confidence. But now, Eric's decision to return to Forrester Creations leaves Katie in a precarious position. Suddenly, she's facing the very real possibility that the project could flop without the mentorship she was counting on. And when a project of this magnitude starts to go sideways, you just know the blame game will start creeping in. Bill, who's never been shy about sharing his opinions, might begin to voice his frustration. He could argue that hiring Eric was a mistake from the start, painting a picture where Katie set herself up for failure. Meanwhile, Katie isn't one to stay silent, especially when she believes in her own capabilities. I can totally see her firing back, holding Bill accountable for encouraging her to take on something so ambitious, and for planting the idea that she could manage it all successfully. That dynamic, where both partners start pointing fingers, is dangerous territory for any marriage. And with Bill and Katie, it's particularly fraught because their relationship has already had its share of turbulence. Katie rushed back into this marriage after a relatively short reconciliation period, and there's always been a part of her that wonders if she acted too quickly. Now, if the fashion house fails, that sense of "did I make the right choice" could come roaring back, especially if she starts connecting the dots between her career disappointment and the ongoing family drama. Speaking of family drama, let's not forget Brooke Logan Forrester's role in this. Katie's relationships with her sister have always been complicated, and this new fashion endeavor only adds fuel to the fire. If the Logan fashion house starts to crumble, Katie could end up blaming Bill not only for her professional missteps but also for straining her relationship with Brooke. I mean, who hasn't imagined Katie thinking, maybe things would be simpler with Brooke if I hadn't remarried Bill and received this project as a wedding gift? It's moments like this that make B&B so addictive. We see the personal stakes, the emotional pressure, and the inevitable conflicts that arise when ambition meets love. I don't doubt there's still affection between Bill and Katie. They've shared so much history, and that bond doesn't just vanish overnight. But love alone might not be enough to sustain them through this. When you add professional failure, family tension, and personal regret, even the strongest connections can start to fray. Here's my take: Katie and Bill's marriage is at a crossroads. If the writers choose to explore the fallout from the fashion house's struggles, we could see some very raw, very real interactions between the two. Imagine the tension, late-night arguments about accountability, silent treatment after a failed runway presentation, and lingering doubts about whether they truly understand each other's expectations. It's the kind of storyline that tests a couple's foundation, and for viewers, it's compelling because it feels so relatable. Who hasn't faced moments where ambition, love, and family obligations collide in messy ways? At the same time, there's potential for growth here. If Katie and Bill can navigate this storm together, it could strengthen their bond. They might learn to communicate better, share responsibility without judgment, and support one another even when things don't go according to plan. But if the stress drives a wedge between them, we could be looking at a period of real tension, where Katie questions whether returning to Bill was the right decision at all. What I'm really curious about is how B&B will handle this in the broader context of the Forrester-Logan Spencer family drama. Will this storyline intertwine with Brooke and Eric's actions? Will other family members get involved, adding pressure to Katie and Bill's already fragile situation? There's a lot of room for twists, and I personally can't wait to see how it all unfolds. So here's my personal take for all of you watching. I think this is a turning point for Katie and Bill. The potential fallout from the fashion house could either bring them closer together or reveal cracks that have been there for a long time. And as much as I love seeing the sparks between them, I also think it's entirely believable that this situation could put their marriage at serious risk. I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Bill and Katie's current storyline? Do you think their marriage can survive this fashion house fiasco, or is this the beginning of the end for them? And what about Brooke and the rest of the family? How much do you think they'll influence the outcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I love reading your takes and discussing every twist with fellow fans. As always, make sure to stay tuned right here for all the latest B&B spoilers, news, and updates. Trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and you won't want to miss a single dramatic moment.